just going to start things off by saying this is probably going to be one of our shortest streams of the year, unless we keep having blunders like this. It was not a good day for the Blue Jays. Before we get into that crap, though, as I stated last night, Eloy Jimenez was going to be called up for George Springer, who was going to go on the DL, and which is often the case, I was right. So, interested to see what he can do. I could see him winning a spot. I kind of think he's going to stick around. Just have a feeling about him. Now, Jays fall to 6-9 on the season. It's only 15 games into the year, so it's not the end of the world. But it's getting there. It's certainly getting there. 8-2, just terrible. Max Scherzer was absolute garbage. Went 2 1/3 inning with 8 earned runs. That brings his ERA up to 9.58 for the year. Allowed 2 home runs, only 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, fucking 5 hits. So really just the home runs that were his undoing more than anything. From what I read here, though, the velocity was back up a little bit. Average fastball velocity was 93.1, so a bit better. Just doesn't look like he was able to miss the bats. If we're going to be, happy for the Jays, well, the combination of Joe Mantiply, Thomas Nance, Mason Fluharty, Louis Varland, Ty Rogers, and Jeff Hoffman did pitch a shutout over the course of, 6 2/3, so that's good for the bullpen. They were able to do that. It's not very good for the bullpen that they're getting taxed by having to pitch, a lot more than they should be. But yeah, not a good day at the office. I mean, only 2 runs, so the offense is still hitting incredibly poor. Before we get to the offense, I just want to take a quick look at how Taj Bradley did today. He is a fantasy pickup that I did make. He basically is now a 1.25 ERA, so he has stifled every team he's fought or faced so far. 3-0 on the year, so this was a former top prospect for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. He was brought over in the Griffin Jacks trade last year. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, so he definitely did his part. So, kind of tip your cap. He does have electric stuff. Very wild, though. 4 walks in 5 innings pitched. Offensively, we're only going to go over the bright spots, and it's kind of surprising when you look at the fact we actually out-hit the Twins 12 hits to 8. So we had quite a few hits. If you told me, you get 12 hits, I expect that you're going to have a pretty good day at the office. I mean, at least 5 or 6 runs, you know what I mean? But instead, just not able to cash in with runners on. Ongoing problem. They had 4 walks as well, so I mean, they did get on base. Like, their 1-2 hitters basically each had 3 hits apiece. So you would expect, a couple more runs to be scored than that. I mean, their 4-5 hitters, so Ernie Clement had 3 hits. He was leading off today. Dalton Varsho had 3 hits, hitting second. Vlad Guerrero was 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Jesus Sanchez 1 for 4. Looks like 2 strikeouts, so maybe he was the weak link in the armor for our top 4 hitters. Our 5-6 hitters of Okamoto and Nathan Lucas just didn't get a hit between them. Eloy Jimenez debuted. It was 2 for 4 today with 2 strikeouts, so been all or nothing so far. Now it looks like they were just singles, no home runs or anything like that. In fact, the only extra base hits we got were from Clement, Varsho, and Jimenez, and they were all doubles. Andres Jimenez staying pretty hot. I mean, 2 for 4. He has not been terrible. 772 OPS so far. But, I mean, it's only 15 games in, so I don't really look at the stats until we get another couple months into the year. Brandon Valenzuela was 0 for 3. I mean, they did kind of stuff the stat sheet a lot better than I was expecting, given that they only were able to score a putrid 2 runs. What else do we have to go over that's baseball? If you're a fantasy owner of Nick Pivetta, it looks like he did leave Sunday's game against the Rockies with right elbow stiffness. Probably means he's done for the year. Start hearing right elbow stiffness, it probably probably Tommy John. So if you have Nick Pivetta, it might be a good time to start looking at the waiver wire for some potential replacements. Now, in terms of the NFL, just a couple little things. I don't know if this is just a crapshoot or some sort of thing. Reuben Bain Jr., one of the top prospects in the draft, has one team that's concerned about multiple incidents that he's had driving, one in which involved a fatal traffic collision. I don't think there was some sort of lawsuit that was dropped. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I don't know. He's still going to go. He's the top edge rusher in the draft. He's still going to go top 5, so I don't think this changes anything. It's not like he was charged with anything, so yeah. I mean, he's got a killer instinct, Sage. He's a murderer. You're going to have to bring him in. He's got that killer instinct to him. Yeah, it seems like Love's a Titan. It's weird taking a running back 4. It just feels weird. The edge rusher's the more impactful place to go, in my opinion. I'd probably go Bane. It is true. He did kill someone. It is true. I don't know. He's had careless driving following that collision, so looks like he just doesn't know how to drive. Is what I'm hearing here. But they're saying it doesn't seem like Bane has been transparent with us. That's a quote from someone we don't even know, so we're not going to focus too much on it. This is probably... I'm interested to see if this becomes a draft day trade. Devin Akane, they're not close to a contract extension with the Miami Dolphins. If you were Akane or a Chain or whatever the fuck his name is, why would you want to return to them? They're going to be very bad for a very long time. Like, you're talking, like, this is a real rebuild where it's probably going to take them 3-4 years to start looking like a decent team, in my opinion. They have literally gutted just about every fucking position like a goddamn fish. So, we'll see what happens there. We do have, this is not the finalized scores for the week. We'll go over that tomorrow. But we're going to go to the Pete Rose Bowl cut and see how things are shaking out there. Looks like yours truly going to win 9-7, keep his head above water. In for a bit of a cockfight next week with, Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts or Brendan Little's Diddlers. I don't know what his real name is now. He rebrands so damn often. It looks like I'm going to take 9-7, being probably 4th place again, or maybe 3rd. Not too worried about the season. Just going to keep my head above water while my guys get healthy. You guys have heard that a lot. Brendan Little Dingers is tied 8-8 with Pitch Please, so potentially to probably stay in the same standing, I would assume. All Over Your Ace is losing 8-6 to the Long Balls, so looks like the Long Balls will stay in first place. Gonna be a big jump though from Annette's awesome team. They were 3-12 last week. This week they're up 13-3, so they're gonna get back up over 500. Should put her in a playoff spot, maybe the 5-6 seed there. The Rally Cats did rally back to beat her sister. It looks like 9-5, so it was tilted the other way. I don't think that Blunt Force Trauma has anyone playing, so I don't think there's going to be any changes in that affair. Do have a couple moves to go over. It looks like after dangling TJ Friedel for a trade, the Springfield Isotopes have picked up Josh Bell. Good little on-base guy. Not sure how good he is in fantasy, but he will get on base. He will take a walk. The Rally Cats added Francisco Alvarez for Yanger Diaz. Interesting move. I know Alvarez is was a top prospect for the Mets. He does have some thunder in the bat. I don't think he's necessarily 100% panned yet, but so far he's got 1,000 OPS. Last year, 787 OPS, so pretty good stroke. He's only 24 years old, so that's probably a better pickup than what she had there. So I'd give that a good move, or a good grade for that move. Um, must be a lot of desperation to add pitchers. The Springfield Isotots added Aaron Savelli for Brian Abreu. Now, I'm going to take a quick look at Aaron Savelli. I know last year was not a good year for him. I think he was pitching in Chicago at one point last year. Or I'm not really. Yeah, it was Chicago. He had just a terrible year, but for his career, 4.13 ERA, so he has been serviceable. He has pitched in the American League East as well, so pitch note in Oakland, he's probably, his ERA of 2.7 right now is probably not going to sustain, but if you're looking for pitch and depth, it doesn't seem like a bad pickup there. And you're only dropping Brian Abreu, who, he's pretty good usually for holds and that sort of thing. Definitely very solid in that respect, but he's not a closer. So has his career 2.86 ERA, so it does look good in that respect. This year has been struggling to the tune of 16.20. And then finally, I had another injured player. Christian Javier went down, so I called on Nolan Schultz of the Chicago White Sox. I don't know anything about Nolan Schultz, so I'm going to get a scouting report on him. He is one of their top prospects, so I'm just hoping that, he kind of can give me some innings until some guys get back, and then I'll probably end up cutting him again. Why is AI Overview not giving me a scouting report? Looks like he throws a sweeping curveball. Okay, fastball has a 65 grade, slider has a 70 grade, so he hits 99 miles per hour, primarily uses a two-seam version, which has some run and sink. Okay, I like the sounds of that already, because I don't know who this guy is. I was just going by the most added recently. This is kind of one thing that's really crazy. He's definitely going to be the tallest pitcher in the league. He's a left-hander that is 6'10" apparently, and the slider is has a 70 grade, so pretty good there. And then all his other stuff is changeup and cutter, just kind of average-ish type of picks there. So actually, that looks like a potential gem. But with young guys, you never know how they're going to do out of the gate. Like look at Roy Halladay, who got sent down to the minors for having like a 10.64 ERA or whatever it was back in the day. But I do want to keep this as a quick stream. Disappointing for the Jays. I believe they have Arizona coming up next, so let's just take a look and see who's on the docket. Just give a series preview. Alright, so today's April 12th, so tomorrow's April 13th, if my math is correct. I think we've got Arizona next, but I could be wrong. When do we fucking play? I'll just go to scores. It presents a little bit better. Oh, I guess we don't play tomorrow. Probably a much needed day off for the Jays, to be honest. Probably use it to get one day healthier. Oh, great. The next team that we face is a very good team. In fact, I think they had the same amount of wins as us last year, the Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be Kevin Gossman toeing the rubber against Jacob Mizorowski, who hits 101, 102 miles per hour. He is an absolute phenom, so we'll probably drop to 6-10 in that game. The second match of this will be Dylan Cease against a pitcher to be determined, so that one looks winnable. And then what's the last match here? Patrick Corbin going up against, it says to be determined. I'm not sure why that's the case, but we'll probably lose that game too. So we'll probably find ourselves, looking a little bit worse than we are currently, which is not good at all. All right, we're going to call it there. We might not stream tomorrow. With the Jays not playing, there's probably no point to stream. We could probably just save it for for Tuesday. Unless something big happens, which isn't going to happen, we'll maybe take an off day tomorrow. But we will be streaming at Indie Game Cloud at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We do not know the game that we are going to play. Nathan sent me no games. I have sent Nathan no games as well. So maybe a little later on tonight I'll do some research. Sage, you do some research as well. Cheap games, cheap games under fucking $13 or $14 would be much appreciated. Alright, well, that's it for me, Thunderlings. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.